Hello and welcome to another week of Two Beards, a podcast in Wrexham AFC. That fire crotch over there is Adrian, mate. Joining me for another week.
Regretfully, yes. No, I'm just happy to be here, mate. And look, honestly, it was a week of emotion. But regardless of results, regardless of what happened, we're going to go through that today. But being back in the Football League has been my highlight by far. So pretty happy to just talk about that.
Oh, definitely. Hey, and we will be talking about all the games that we've just played and the games coming up this weekend, which will be good. So
Yeah.
stay tuned for after the next sting because we will be talking about that. But it's been a very, very productive week. I'd say we had our 10th episode last week, and that just went absolutely gangbusters. So you guys absolutely loved it, which was great. Yeah, man, what can I say? Like, we're back in the Football League. There's
Yeah.
so much football going on at the moment. You're just almost getting drunk on football. So,
Yeah, I must admit, I
oh,
was watching random games that were on, and I was just like, "Fuck it, just pop it on. If I can, if it's on, I'll watch it." Um, it didn't matter what league, didn't matter what was happening. I just wanted to watch it. I was watching Women's World Cup. We'll talk about that, I'm sure. We talked about. I watched. What else did I watch? I watched some of the SPFL, so the Scottish Premiership. Yeah, like it was just great to have football back. But honestly, regardless of result, seeing us walk out, oh, it gave me chills just thinking about all the people who'd, endured the last 15 years. And obviously more so, even, going back and forth from the division, back before then, as well. So all those fans have gone through it. Well done. We've made it, baby, and we're back. And honestly, man, I'm kind of inspired by it all. I genuinely was. I've been quite pessimistic, looking into the season, but just seeing some glimpses of this morning's game against Wigan, got me pretty excited. So I'm sure we'll get into that later.
wow. That's right. That's right. Well, just get some housekeeping out of the way first. So we got a new patron this week, a new fuckhead, I should say. We got a new
Are we
fuckhead.
calling them fuckheads? Or are we calling them
We're
beard
calling him
brethren?
fuckhead. No, no.
All right? Jesus
Beard Brethren
Christ.
is everyone, so all of our fans and listeners, we're going to be calling them
Sure.
Beard Brethren. Thanks to Mr. Doge on Twitter. Sticking beards on everything. We fucking love it. It's great.
Yep. It is great.
Um, but our patrons are called fuckheads because it's got to be the best name ever for a group of lads or men that just want to hang around and have some fun. So if you guys want to become a fuckhead as well, twobeardsmedia.com. Link will be in the description. Look at the link tree as well down below. So by all means, join. Costs you $5 a month, not a week, a month.
There we go.
And
Look at that, mate.
Adrian,
Look at that.
you fucked it up last week, but what do they get? Come on.
Sweet fuck all. That's what they get. Sweet fuck all. That's what they're there for. They don't want the Discord. They don't want the private Discord server. They don't want the giveaways. They don't want the 10% off merch code. They are there, mate. They are there for one thing and one thing only. Sweet fuck all.
Oh well, we got that in abundance down here. So let's
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 shout
get
out to
into it.
Aaron.
So hey,
Thanks,
some
matey.
news this week. Other than our new patron, which is Aaron, he's Who's Your Fan on Twitter.
Yep.
Thank you so much for joining up, Aaron, by the way. So Aaron, John W. Craig, and Will Sudworth.
There we go. He's got it. Nailed it.
Shout out. Shout out to those, man. You guys are fucking legends. We love you.
No, Chris. No, sorry. Then you call them fuckheads. That's what they are. They're fuckheads now. That's what you've called them. You know what? I've decided to just go with it this week. I think last week I was like, don't encourage him. Don't, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just giving into the wave this week. I am, you know what, Chris, bring us home. Bring us home with, with the goodness, with the fuckheadness.
Okay, all right. Well, on the other side of this, we will be talking all things Wrexham and the Football League. We're back, baby. Woo! So we were
Waller.
fucking back. We were back.
Scared the shit out of me.
It was supposed to be a very good start. Everyone's hopes were up.
Your hopes. Yeah.
And
Continue.
then
Yeah.
and then in true Wrexham fashion, we lost. We lost.
But to be honest, I think what's great about what happened was we came up against a great MK Don side who have just dropped down. We might have all got, and I would admit, I got caught a bit of that Wrexham fever, that chatter that we could go back to back, things like that, and it's still possible. No one wins the league in the first round, and also all of the favourites, all of them lost this week. So it's quite interesting that's put forward, but also the amount of goals we kicked. I think there was no losing side who scored as many goals as we did, and there was no, and I think just being able to do that and turn it on a dime just shows. But we were missing people. We were missing some defenders who I think were quite vital to stopping a lot of those easy goals. And I just want to get your opinion on one thing. We came up against this side and we came through the US tour. We came back from that. We've had a couple of players maybe stick around a little longer than maybe the rest of the squad. Do you think that had anything to do with maybe the lackluster performance, or do you think it was purely just we were out missing people who didn't have the match fitness and that was it? What do you think it was?
I can't remember the last time that Wrexham won the first game of the season, to be honest. But it seems like it's a regular thing. You get off. It seems like Parky, from what I've heard from the interviews, that he's still trying to put minutes into everyone's legs, still trying to prepare them for the build. So they're still sort of building into the season. Now, whether that was from the USA trip fucking things up, or whether that was from just being underdone, or God knows what. Like, it was the first game of the season. Those MK Dons guys, they were big motherfuckers, like big
Quality.
bastards. Quality.
Made Billy Waters legit literally look tiny. He looked tiny on the pitch. And I was talking to Chris via text saying, honestly, Billy needs to be taken off, not because of anything. He's a great player in his own right, but the guys he was playing against were twice his size and basically didn't allow him to touch the ball when it was in the air. So I was,
but that said, he was lively. He was lively. He was running around. He was trying to create chances. Look, in all honesty, it didn't look like a 5-3 scoreline to me. It looked more like a draw. Now, let's just touch on that. The first goal, Owen O'Connell, what was he doing? Like, why would you head that backwards into the goal? Did he think Foster was behind him? Did Foster call out for it? Like, what?
It just seemed like a brain
don't
fade.
Head
I think
it backwards when you're that close to the goal. Like, you just don't. So major brain.
I don't think I've. Yeah, I mean, it was a brain fade of all sorts, but like, what got me was, was he expecting Foster to get there? Was Foster calling for it? Because we know from the later goals, and we'll go into those later on, but those later goals, Foster didn't even try for some of them. So I kind of went fully, I was like, that's O'Connell's fault. That is dumb from a guy who's played in the Champions League. Yeah, losing, 9-0 to Barca, but not the point. Like he's a quality player, shouldn't be making those mistakes. In saying that, I now take a little bit of a step back afterwards and I go, maybe Ben could have got there. Maybe he couldn't have. Maybe not. Who knows? We'll never know.
Maybe. But, look, I do want to address one thing here. There's always a certain subsect of fans that like to stir
Oh,
the
fuck me.
pot. They love to stir the pot. They will be like, "Oh, Parky out. Oh, season's over." Motherfucker, we lost our first game. Um,
And not even that badly. Like
not even
5-3,
that
yes.
badly.
Like we lost by 2 goals. I kept telling Chris, like during her, and I mean, I know that's not how we should be. We shouldn't be looking at other teams' scores and going, well, at least we're doing better than them. But not at a red card from their fucking keeper. So like I just kept thinking it could have been a worse start. And it wasn't really that bad of a start, except for the defense let goals literally walk in. The keeper in Ben Foster looked a bit underdone, looked a bit cooked, and didn't look to be putting in what I believe is his 100% best. And that's not his fault. That's not even the staff's fault. This is something that will happen when we, are making bigger tours. And I think we should have done the USA's tour. I still back that tour 110%. It's great for PR. It's great for, honoring those supporters who follow Wrexham from afar. But I do think it contributed to being underdone. And I think, not having Will Boyle, not having Aaron Hayden, not having Max Clearworth, like those three, I honestly bring it back to what you said. It could have been a draw. If we had those three in,
Yeah,
everyone
I think it
says,
was
oh,
definitely a
Mullen
draw.
this, Mullen that. Yeah. Like people go Mullen this, Mullen that. If Mullen was playing, it still would have been the same score line. But I think if we had those three defenders in place and didn't put O'Connor back, I think we could have done a little bit better than that. So yeah, that's just a personal opinion.
No, and I completely agree. I think the scoreline was probably more reflective of a draw rather than anything else. They clearly are. They did miss Mullen. You could see it. They missed Mullen. And speaking of Mullen, he's on his way back.
Yeah, really
He
good.
cue the tweet right here. Boom. He
No,
is
well done,
first
well done.
class on United, all the way back, and he's coming home. He's coming home.
Did you see the post that was put up where it's like, what a world we live in? Paul Mullen's flying first class back to Wrexham, and Lionel Messi was on a fucking coach, like coach class. So it's just like, uh, if that isn't what confirms him being the GOAT, and that's Paul Mullen, then I don't know what is. If it's not to do with an airline, then what the hell is to be a GOAT? First class
Mm.
every day of the week, baby.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And the good news is that it looks like it's probably not as serious as what first thought. He did
Yeah.
break a few ribs, so that may take him a little while longer to come back from.
Mm.
But it's good news. He's coming back home. That's all I care about. He's
That's all that
coming back
matters.
home.
Correct.
I would love to be in Wrexham. We would go meet him at the airport. We'll give him hugs. We'll give him handshakes. I'll pat him on the bum.
I know we're about to get into this, and I know we're going to get into the Wigan game, but I just want to address something on Paul Mullen. Did you see the post-match interview with Parky where they asked him about Paul Mullen?
Yeah.
And he basically was just like, oh, it's like, have you talked to him? He's like, he's not answering my calls. and Paul basically posted, sorry, ran out of data. run out of
Yeah.
mobile data. And I pissed myself laughing. And I was like, Paul, and that's the situation he's in. He's literally having overseas minutes on his phone. And he's probably on the flight when he gets that text. So pretty funny to me.
But in all seriousness, no, though, like we lost. Don't feed the trolls. Don't play into their game. They're just trying to get a rise out of you. I guarantee you, there's probably about maybe 99.6% of the Wrexham fan base that really doesn't care or doesn't give a shit.
All about being
They
back in the
know
football
it's the
league, mate.
first game. We're back in the
That's it.
football league. And you
That's
know
all that
what?
matters.
We followed it up with a damn good game. Holy shit. The Wigan game. Let's talk about that one.
Yeah, mate. Look, honestly, from the week that we had, we signed James McLean, I think, a couple days prior to the first EFL game. And obviously he was never going to be back for that. And obviously he wasn't in the side for the Wigan game. But the hype was real because it was like, okay, expectations are high. We just basically said we're going to piss this league because we just signed like one of the best signings Wrexham have made. Then we lost. It took us back to reality, and then we go into a tight battle where we didn't have possession much. I think we had 33% possession, which, I mean, any team who has that amount of possession is not coming out with a lot more shots. But what happened? We had something like 20 shots to 7 or 20
Oh,
shots to something
we
around
were
that amount.
looking very threatening. You know what? Ollie Palmer, you deserve that man of the match, mate. Fuck
Oh,
me,
hell
man.
yeah.
Like you were gold. Woo! So I I have to say, like that was a really, really tense match. Like it was a good arm wrestle. Um, we played, I think, probably not quite at the level where we should be, but we're like almost there. We are almost
Yeah.
there. Good question for you, actually. Question without notice.
Yeah.
Does Mark Howard take back the number 1 spot?
Oh, look, I don't know. I was pretty harsh on Foster after the game just because for
But
the
rightly so,
MK
because
Dons
there were
one.
some goals there that he just clearly didn't try. Now,
Yeah.
I get
Whereas,
it that the team was probably off. Everyone was off. He had only just come back from the US. He was probably still jet lagged and tired. But regardless, you look at the performance that he just put in the league, and then
yep,
you look at what Mark Howard did.
chompers.
Chompers,
Yeah.
mate.
he
Like,
was he was
I love
epic.
the
And
guy, mate. I love
I
Chomp.
love
He's
him too.
great. He is amazing.
He's probably Chomp's just like got the, I don't know, man. Like we everyone makes a joke, it's like the retirement home of fucking goalkeepers because we've got two probably the oldest keepers in the league. But that's, to me, man, like that doesn't show. We've just got class. He oozes class on the pitch. When he wasn't playing, he literally got taken out of the side, even though he put us in the position we were in last year. He was literally taken out of the side for Foster. And, that Notts County thing happened. And he could have easily been bitter about it. He could have been like, that could have been me. And he wasn't. He ran on the pitch and he's hugging the bloke. That's the kind of guy he is. So he deserved his minutes today. We talked about it in the preseason that this would happen. There would be a rotation because of the amount of different competitions, that there would be a rotation. I'm with you. I think, yes, 100%. I think Mark Howard deserves to, if Foster's still not at 100%, which I don't think he is, maybe Parky's got a better idea than I do, but that Chomp should be starting because that, ignoring the penalty shootout, if you missed it, we won on penalties. It was 4-2. You might go, oh, well, that means that Mark Howard saved them all. Well, they were two basically shit misses from Wigan, basically over the bar, cooked it. So, in my opinion, that isn't a reflection of it. But if you watch back the highlights, his saves were integral. Yes, there weren't as many shots as what we had, but it could have easily, with the amount of possession they had, it could have easily been a lot worse. So for him to stop what he did, the delivery, he seemed to improve. Did you find that his delivery of the ball with Foster, for example, Foster kind of dishes out the ball as fucking, he could do the whole pitch if he wanted, really, with his arm alone. I felt that Mark Howard's delivery was a lot better this week than it
Yeah, it
has
was
been in
better. It's
previous.
probably better than what I've seen him in the past
Yeah.
with his distribution, that's for sure. Because and clearly he's been learning from Foster.
Yeah.
And
They work with each other. They learn off each
I
other.
don't know what's going on with Leighton, but yeah, I feel sorry for
Well,
the guy in a way because Leighton's
yeah, that's another
he's
one.
a good goalkeeper as well. Um, there was an altercation or like a little instance in, I think it was on his vlog, where it sort of piqued my interest. I'm like, oh, what's going on here? And it looked like Leighton gave Foster a bit of a serve, and Foster's like, all right, mate, just settle down.
What
Um,
was this, Twitter
no,
or
I
X or
think it
whatever the
was on.
fuck?
I think it was on the cycling GK vlog when they were
Right.
doing some training and they were doing some kick to kick, some two touch, and all that sort of stuff. Um, it looked like there was a bit of tension there. I was like, oh, what's going on here? But
Yeah. You never know with those boys though, because goalkeepers are a different breed, mate. They just fucking weird and wonderful. Like, I mean, if for the people who've seen, even the doco makes mention of it about how goalkeepers are different. They're just weird and and very out there. So maybe it's just their humor. Maybe it's just this dry humor that they've got. But honestly, talking with you, yeah. Look, Howard, I would love to see him more regular in the league, and maybe just put a bit of pressure on Foster. I think there's a bit of an element of he kind of walks into the side, but I don't think he does. We've also got Langton, and like Rob is probably, as if he's fully fit, is probably our number one keeper being realistic. He is in terms of longevity as well. But in saying that, if he's not fit, then yeah, putting Howard in and giving him the minutes and sharing it around is very, very important, especially with the amount of competitions we have. So look, man, great call. He had an outstanding game, but I do want to talk about one of your favorites and my favorites too, but I definitely know he's one of yours. Ollie Palmer on his man of the match. How important was he for us to get over the line against? I know that it went down to pens and he wasn't even on the park then, but how important was it to have his presence starting?
Mate, honestly, seeing Palmer, but it's a bit of a shit that he's not didn't score any goals, but he was so dynamic. He was there. You could see he was clearly trying, putting himself in all the right positions. He was very threatening on the ball, very threatening towards the defenders as well. He was just always getting in there, running around, and he had quite a few shots on goal from what I saw as well. And mate, Palmer, mate, I come to Wrexham, see you, I'm squeezing your cheeks, mate.
He's not talking about your face cheeks, that's for sure. And when he says he'll be clapping in the stands, I think, yeah, anyways.
Oh, wow.
All right, I'm going far this week. What world are we in? What world are we in that I'm the one who's being crass now? Jesus fuck. All right, anyways.
Backwards, clapping cheeks backwards in the stands, eh?
Jesus Christ. Anywho, fuck me. What I think we should do is look at.
Hey, what's that movie? What's that movie where those people they fuck in the middle of the football pitch?
I don't know what videos you're watching on Pornhub, mate, but I have not seen that.
There's a movie where they're going out, and I was like, man, that would be perfect to go to Wrexham and.
Oh my lord! Okay, yeah, you know what? That I'm just even going to talk over you there. I'm just gonna say that never happened. Cut it from the record for future Rouse. You're listening back, just. And then what I imagine Chris will do is he'll just amplify the mic as he says that. It'll be great. But
I can control the sound, mate.
I know you can. But no, look,
I feel like
Palmer,
a god.
He is a god. Palmer is also a god, and I think that he showed that he should be playing and starting, especially without. Now, here's something that I don't know. I think I've coached under 16s football, but that means jack shit because they're all just fucking egos running around. But from my understanding, usually putting a player like Dolby and Palmer on at the same time is not usually done because it's like having two number 9s essentially. But what I'm thinking is that something we will see this season? Do you think we will see Dolby and Palmer both start, and then maybe Waters and fucking my brain's gone, but you know what I mean? Like that'll be the starters.
I'm just going to go out and say this. I've got no fucking idea.
It'd be bloody interesting.
I can be a couch coach for,
I'm a couch coach for sure.
But oh, mate, like everything that you think is going to happen, Parky just does something different. Like even with the signings he's brought in, and
yeah, dude,
and like.
We need a replacement striker, and then he just signs James McLean, and we're like, that's fucking amazing, but also that's not what we were after.
But with how leaky the defense was, I can see why he's probably brought in another left back. So, and left-footed left back as well. So, look, I think it's getting really hard to sort of predict what Parky's going to do.
Mm.
Um, you can sort of try and put it together with patterns with what he's done in the past, but his teams look a lot different, especially this year compared to
Yeah.
last year.
Mm.
Um, the style of play looks a bit different.
Yeah.
Like it's too hard to predict, man. It's way too
Yeah.
hard to predict. But I really do like Palmer and Bickerstaff up front. That was pretty damn good.
That bigger stuff. Honestly,
Bickerstaff is amazing.
it was remiss of me not to mention him because he had a quality 20 odd
Mm.
minutes in the MK Dons match, and he was again integral again today, this morning when the game for against Wigan was on. So honestly, bigger stuff. It's been mentioned from Wrexham locals, especially that bigger stuff will be something in this side, and he's young, he's got the talent, he will be there. He just needs a chance to show it. And every time he did get a chance last year, I think he like started 3 games and he scored in 2 of them.
He never let
Like,
us down.
never let us down. So I think we're in a very good position to have the players that we do. We need to get Waters more minutes, but also have him paired up with the right person. I think having him maybe paired up with Palmer instead of
I
Dolby,
think,
because I'm a big Dolby
well,
fan, but I
honestly,
think it needs experience next to him.
I get a funny feeling that Waters may not be a key position striker.
Yeah, no, yeah, yeah.
I think he's probably more of a centre mid, maybe. Um,
Oh, I mean, it's hard to say that because, like, you see him with the way he play. I mean, he's played in leagues above. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's been in those positions, so I don't doubt that he has the potential
hmm.
to do it. I just think, again, a younger face, maybe having
Oh,
someone
and
like a
look,
Palmer
he
next to your
brings a
running
lot
guy
to the
side.
squad.
Yeah,
He brings
yeah,
a lot to the squad, but it's just that put Waters and Lee side by side.
yeah,
I mean, you watch them both play, and Lee is just on another level,
yeah,
complete other level. And not trying to put Waters down or anything, because I know he's only new to the squad. He hasn't really played that many games with the squad, hasn't really had chance to gel and sit in and show us what he can do. But
yeah,
from what I've seen so far, he's wild, he's quick, he loves to run around and get in and out. He's like a little ferret, but he just doesn't have that finishing that like Elliot Lee does or Mullen does. There's just not
yeah.
that nuance there with that
Yeah.
finishing. So I
Eh,
just I think he's got a bit to show us still. And I hope he does. I hope he does, but I'm just yet to see it, yet to
mm.
see it.
I
Until
hope we
then,
start,
I'm just
especially when Paul Mullen is back. I do hope that we still start Waters in games that maybe I'm not, again, I don't want to underestimate any team because we do have a target on our back. So every game is a derby, every game is a fucking big game. But in the times where we maybe say, okay, we're coming up against last, midway through the year, I hope we are doing what Parky has basically said he wants to do, which is keep minutes into everyone and kind of share the load because it is a very long season. And as
mm,
we've just seen from even a preseason injury, it can derail you very quickly. So yeah, look, very happy about that. Do want to mention something, and I know I'm going to be readdressing the previous game in the MK Dons, but I just wanted to talk about our man or Wrexham man, and he was also fantastic today against Wigan, Jordan Davies.
one of
How
our
good was
own.
it? Hey,
One of our own.
one of our own, but also, fuck, did he just? Oh, okay. That hit, I know it was like at the time, it was like, fuck, that sucks. We're still going to lose this game to MK Dons. But that strike, I mean, I got out of my seat and I was like, holy shit. Like, and if we're going to see that more often from Jordan, and again today, he had a couple of chances, I believe. from memory. Yeah, he had a couple of chances this morning
Mm.
where he was very close. So my point is, if you get more minutes into this guy's not only going to be starting, but he's also going to be causing damage that we knew he was capable of. He was capable of in the National League, but now he's about to show it in the Football League for the team that he grew up watching, the team he grew up playing for. This is kind of his moment. I know we talk about Mullen and, creating a legacy, but this is something where, Luke Young has proven as well today with his captaincy
it's
that he's
Mullen.
got that same grit.
Mullen is a talisman, like
Yeah.
clear talisman. So
Yeah.
like, yes, there are other good players on the team, but Mullen is obviously the talisman of the team. With everyone else on the team, like you can't like how do you pick? How do you pick your best when they're all very, very similar levels? They're all it's a good problem to have. But I would say it's like you can't, like when I was watching the Wigan game, they played a lot of the same players that played in the last game. They swapped out a few more, obviously through subs, and they played obviously a very different style than they played at MK Dons, and it worked. Yes, they didn't have a lot of possession against the Wigan game because that's the way Wigan like to play. They like to play that tic-tac style of football. So Wrexham let them do it and let them wear themselves down. And, I reckon they could have at least scored 2 or 3 if they just had that finishing correct. You're a football coach, right?
Yep.
What did Barnett get yellow carded for? I didn't quite understand that because he like literally came on and 30 seconds later he's getting flashed a yellow card. Like, what the fuck?
Bro, okay, so I missed it. I completely missed it. I think I was making myself a coffee or what, I can't remember what I was doing at the time, but I literally stood away I was watching on my laptop and I walked away, came back, she's got it. So I have literally no idea. So people, if you want to write in or comment down below, that'd be great because me and Mr. Chris are like a bit clueless to why that happened. And to be honest, I think once we had won, I was like, fuck it, it's a yellow card. Who gives a shit? Like, whereas at the time, I was still like a bit confused by it all. But look, I mean, just back on that as well. Like, Barnett as well. He's another player who's showing his worth this season. I mean, he was doing it at the end of last season as well, but he really is this preseason and these last 2 games. I know it's early, but he could possibly be, a player of the season for us. He could be one of those players. Of course, he remains healthy, touch wood, things like that. But yeah, him as well. But how good was having our captain back in the side?
Yes. He is. I don't think he ever lost favour. I don't think any one of those players ever lost favour. I think Parky was very selective going into the final run and didn't want to change the team too much because there was that cohesion right there, right? It was clear to see you don't fix something that's not broken, and
ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, so it was going to be hard for anyone to get in that team at that point. Now, different story, and now we're seeing how well the spread of the talent is in the team, and honestly, I reckon maybe 4 or 5 games, and we will really start seeing them come into their own. And I've maybe even think even sooner. I thought we saw maybe glimpses of that in the Wigan game, but I think a couple more games time, we'll probably really, really see it take off. And then when Mullen comes back, it's just going to be a goal fest, and we'll go full steam ahead. Back to back, baby. Taking it on.
Okay, just for context. Yeah, fuck MK Dons. But just for context, we lost 5-3 that game. I was pretty drunk. I think Chris was
strange scoreline for an EFL game.
Yeah, strange.
Very
but like
strange.
what
5-3.
5-3. But he texts me and he still goes, he doubles down as he always does. And Chris goes, don't worry, we're still going back to back. And you know what? At the time, it was kind of a giggle moment. You're like, yeah, right, after we just did that. But in realist, like I've seen it posted, people have said it. You don't win a fucking championship in game one. You do not win a trophy in that time. We are aiming for promotion. We're also looking to do some damage in the cup games, get a bit of extra cash flow. Keep it going, spread the team out, get the minutes in, bro. I'm actually with you now. I think we really can get this team going, and then we're going to be
They're
full steam
building
ahead.
into it, mate. They're building into it, and clearly that's what Parky has in mind. Is that he's giving the players minutes. They're probably underdone, so they're building into it, and that's all that is. That's all it is. And clearly, I reckon maybe 4 or 5 games time we'll be back to where we were last season in the National League.
In the next league.
Obviously in the next league, but we will be winning almost every game, hopefully. We'll see. This weekend's going to be a good barometer against AFC Wimbledon. So on the other side of this, let's preview that game. All right. So AFC Wimbledon this weekend. What have we got? This is
it's the Antichrist of MK Dons. No, sorry, it's the other way around. Sorry, MK Dons is the Antichrist of Wimbledon.
Yep, owned by the Dons Trust, whatever the hell that is. Managed by Johnny Jackson. Look, I don't know much about AFC Wimbledon other than Ollie Palmer came from there, so it's going to be a real interesting matchup.
I had that on my bingo card that you'd bring that up. In my head, I was like, there's going to be 3 things he's going to bring up. Ollie Palmer, and Ollie Palmer playing for Wimbledon.
Small ground, though, only 9,000. So, how do I see this game happening? How do I see this? 9,000. Yeah, only 9,000. So I don't know what the away allocation is for us at Wimbledon, but
be like 1,000.
Yeah, probably. It's they're not really a team that's going to be. I don't really see them being movers and shakers, and I think we had them finishing mid-table in our predictions.
Yeah, and I still have them in that bracket. But I mean, look, anything can happen now. These are the early games where scalps can happen. It is away from home. We are in and you mentioned it, we're in a progression stage where we're trying to work out who fits where, what, when, how, whatever. And we're in that spot right now. So, I'm not saying we're going to drop points. I think we'll win. But, I wouldn't be surprised if we walk away with a draw or even, God forbid, a loss. Because it is, like you said, it is those early games. It is obviously not the right tone we want to set if we've gone, 0 for 2 from the league. But of course, there's 46 games the fucking season, something like that. It's a long season ahead. So look, we're not putting all our cards out straight away. We have players out from injury. My question would be, from what I heard Parky talk about with Aaron Hayden being out because of injury and Will Boyle also being out with injury, it did seem like he was saying that possibly Hayden will be back next week just because he has been on the bench. Do you see him coming back against Wimbledon?
Yeah. If he's fit, he'll play. I think where that team is currently, I don't see there probably be many changes. I'll be interested more to see what happens on the goalkeeping front, because Mark Howard really did put in a hell of a shift.
I'd love it if he started. I'd absolutely love it. And you know what? Because we've got another midweek game after that as well, maybe doing the inverse and having, all right, strike while the iron's hot. Mark Howard's going, all right, we'll put you on here. And then maybe Ben starts that midweek game against Walsall. Maybe.
I know we're forgetting Leighton in all this, but I mean, dude's got to stop getting injured.
It's so funny. Like anytime someone made a joke on Twitter, I think it was just before his last injury. They said, poor Leighton, when the wind blows, the poor bugger gets injured. And then like the first game back, he got injured, and I was like, "Fuck!" I don't think I've seen someone have such bad luck like
Mm.
than this bloke, and it's so unfair because he's one of the good guys. He's one of, I mean, Parky has a no fucking dickhead policy in that locker room.
No,
So
that counts me out.
well played, mate.
I
Well
won't be
played.
allowed in that locker room.
Jesus Christ.
He's been
I'm
swinging
sure.
dicks, boy.
Yeah, fuck. Like I have a bad feeling if Chris and I try to walk into like the turnstiles at the race course, there's probably like those cameras, that like you get at pubs that just like scan him and they're like, get that fucker, get him out of here. So I wouldn't be surprised if that happens to us. But look, no, away from home against Wimbledon, I'm predicting. I mean, it's hard because we haven't scored any from that Wigan game, and we did score kind of what I call like junk time goals when things kind of were dead in the water anyways. So maybe I'm thinking we win 1-0, nice and easy, maybe a goal from Bickerstaff or Palmer. But yeah, I think a 1-0 win. I don't think it'll be easy. I think it'll be super hard. And as I said, I wouldn't be surprised if we walk away with a draw. But yeah, 1-0 I'm going with just because we don't have Paul Mullen. And I know that I'm not saying he's the be all or end all, but he is
No,
a goal creator.
You can see he's been missed, dearly missed. So
Yeah. What
myself,
about yourself,
I think my prediction for AFC Wimbledon, I think. See, I'd like to say 1-0, but there's too many goal scoring opportunities within the team.
Like Davies, Barnett.
Yeah. I do think they're going to
Elliot
win.
Lee.
I do think they're going to win.
Who, us
And
or them?
no, us.
Yeah. You said they, so I'm like, oh shit.
I'm going to get that one
Controversy.
right. I think. See, my gut is telling me 2-0.
Yeah.
I think it'll be 2-0.
That'd be great.
See, they only scored one goal in their last game. I think was their last game a draw or let's have a quick
Fuck, I didn't even see how they went in the cup. Probably should have checked that. And as you can see here, guys, this is the quality content that you're here for. Is us looking on our mobiles and hitting the old Google button.
So they didn't even score against Grimsby on the weekend. Right. In the cup,
they've got Coventry tomorrow.
They've got Coventry. Oh, they're screwed. They're gone.
Yep.
They'll be coming off the back of facing Coventry too. Yeah, look, honestly, I think I like 2-0. My gut's telling me 2-0 to Wrexham.
That'd be great. That'd be great. I mean, honestly, man, a win, to be honest, I don't even care what the scoreline is. I don't even care if we concede 5. If we kick 6 and we win, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
But look, that's a great
2-0.
point.
I think 2-0 will be a clean sheet. And then on to the Walsall game on the Wednesday. Now, in case you're wondering why things are a little bit probably less bouncy than they were in the last pod, is because both me and Adrian have been up in the god awful early hours of the morning. I had about 3 hours sleep last night, and I woke up at 2:30 in the morning to watch Wrexham play.
Yeah, it was about 4 in the morning.
I am fucking feeling it now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like I tell you what, it's like.
Yeah, dude. No, honestly, and
I think as soon as my head hits the pillow, I'm fucking gone.
It's so funny. You mentioned it. I mentioned it last week. I'm like, we're not going to complain. We get, if you could be a man in the morning, you could be a man. And then I woke up today and I was like,
you were a bitch in the morning.
Yeah, I was a bitch in the morning. I was holding the coffee, like shaking, like, okay, it's fine. Just wake up. Like, it's one of those things. But honestly, man, like, I mean, I never regret it. Like, even if we were to lose, they put in a performance that made me want to get up again. And and that's what they're going to do. And we're going to do the same against Walsall. I think it's 4:15 a.m. for me. That means it's 2:45 a.m. for you on a midweek game. But Walsall, can we do a little dive onto them? Because we mentioned that I think we had them around mid-table, like most of the teams. Mid-table, everyone mid-table. But I think to be honest, I think Wimbledon will be a harder task than Walsall. Now, that's not to discredit Walsall, but I just think, again, being at the race course, being the second game in the league, being the third game in like the space of a week, being there, we're back to being comfortable. We're no longer scared of it being, oh, it's the football league. Oh, it's the football league. Um, I guarantee, I mean, the owners probably won't be there, so there's no added pressure there. I'm not saying that adds a pressure, but I'm sure at some point it weighs on you that Hugh Jackman's in the crowd. But Walsall, I think we can really put a statement out there. And I don't think the statement game is Wimbledon. I don't think that will be the statement game. I think that could be a draw. I think we could win 1-0. Nothing crazy. I think the statement game could be Walsall, and I'm thinking and I'm predicting 3-0. What are you thinking?
Oh, it's at home too. Okay,
Yeah.
so their manager it's his first year in managing Walsall, and it's his first year as manager altogether. He only just retired from his senior career last season.
Who do you play for?
He
Just that's sorry,
played
I put you on the spot. I'm just
for
curious.
no, he played for Walsall
Oh wow. All right.
from 2019 to 2012. He
Good on
played
him.
51 games and he scored 3 goals out of 53 games. Yeah. He was an England international though for up until his under 19s, and 2023 is his first year as a manager. So
Wow.
look, uh, you're finding your feet as a manager. Yeah, look, I like 3-0 for this, 3 or 4-0. I think
Yeah.
it's going to be a high scoring affair. I
Yep.
think Palmer may even score two. He might get a brace.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Um, I don't see us losing I just don't see
Nah,
us losing these next two
not
games.
at all.
And I do agree with you. I think Wimbledon will probably be a harder task, but I just don't see us losing that either. And I didn't see us losing against MK Dons, but in all honesty, that wasn't a loss in my eyes. It should have been a draw. And MK Dons really came prepared to play. So I guess it's a matter of, we'll see how it goes. But I like a good 3-0 scoreline,
Yeah, I think
3-4-0.
Warsaw that one 3-0, like yeah, 3-0 for the Warsaw game just makes sense for a multitude of reasons. Like you said, new manager. I know he's been part of the locker room. I'm sure that's great, but it must
Mm,
be a hard shifting from being a player and then being a coach to these guys as well. So
mm.
shifting in, I guess, seniority and also opinions, things like that. That must be hard. How did Warsaw go on the weekend? I actually
So
haven't
they
seen.
lost to Morecambe. Um,
Yep. What was their
they
score?
they had more dominance in the game by the looks of it. But yeah, they lost. They lost. Oh, shots on target.
2-1.
They only had one shot on target, and Morecambe had 5 shots on target. So yeah,
And that actually looks like they kind of got pipped at the post because that second goal that Morecambe scored to win the game actually came at the 90-minute mark
yeah,
plus
90
two,
plus
so
two.
at a
So
time. So look, they might have been robbed there, and they did a pretty damn good effort against Blackburn this morning, losing 4-3. But the way I'm looking at it, and the reason I think it's a statement game for us, yes, those are two great performances. Yes, there were losses, could easily be wins, but they're taxing games. That game in the EFL is taxing. The Cup, losing to Blackburn 4-3, that's taxing. And guess who they've got before us? Stockport. Stockport will be out to make an absolute amends. They were one of the teams like us, favourites to win the thing, favourites to go promotion, and lost. So they're gonna come out and they're gonna go ham at these fuckers. Like honestly, man, if I'm Walsall, they're already tired from those two games. That's what I'm calling. They have to show they've got the depth. I don't think they've got the depth that Wrexham has. Wrexham essentially can play two different sides, one for midweek games and one for
mm.
for weekend games. I don't think they've got that depth.
As
I
long
don't
as
think
Mullen
Walsall
is
can
in
do that.
every single side, that's all.
Yeah, that's true. But look, Walsall, that's the statement game for me. If we don't make a statement against them and get a win, and I would like a convincing win, then we can start asking questions and we can come to the pod and go, fuck, okay, let's reassess here.
Mm. Yep. Well, it's going to be interesting. So your final prediction is what?
3-0.
3-0. Mine's also 3-0. So we both agree on this one, which is very rare. And
I'll be
so,
honest, mate. I think our bromance is growing a bit more. So I think we're just like, I mean, I'm making crude jokes. I'm not complaining about you every 2 seconds during the pod. I'm sure someone will go back to and say, well, actually, Adrian, you did complain 4 times about in this pod, but I think it's less than other times. So maybe the bromance is just growing and we're becoming more, what do you call it? Synergy. We're getting more synergy and we're predicting the right things.
yeah, that's right. And you know what?
He's going to say something.
Yeah, your face is the same color as the Wrexham home shirt. So you got red and
There it
white.
is. You know what? I just
That's why I
praised
love
you.
you.
This is fucking bullshit. Right. I don't know what we're doing now, but I'll cut the segment, fucking cut it all out. This guy's done. But look,
You
mate,
got the
thank
red
you.
beard, you got the white skin. Mate, you need a
Yeah.
tan.
Mate, to be honest, I got the trifecta, pale as fuck, ginger, and bald, and I'm 29. So look, what like I don't that's a quinella, really, but look, to be honest, I'm pretty happy. We've been very lucky the last couple of weeks, the response we're getting from this pod. So again, thank you to everyone who has been so kind to us. Last little bit and last little plug I just want to say is guys, if you are listening to this and you are maybe listening to on Spotify, onto Apple, whatever you are doing, definitely head over to the YouTube. Chris puts in a massive amount of effort every week to put himself, make him look like a quokka, make him, he put a star over my face one time. Like, my point is he's just doing something incredible work. So definitely want to check it out. Give him the praise that he deserves. And we're sitting very close to getting to our goal of 100 subs for the YouTube, and we're only at our 11th episode, which is insane.
Yeah, it is really, really good. So after this, we'll wrap things up. All right. So that's another week done. And it's been a great episode this week. It's probably a little less energy than what we normally have, but that's because we're so fucking tired. But hey, we're Wrexham fans. We'll get up. We'll watch our team no matter what. And
That's it.
I don't give a fuck. If I've got work that day, it doesn't matter. I'm getting up. I'm watching my team. I'm cheering them on from
Yeah.
down under, and we're
Yeah.
getting involved. So,
But I am changing my mind on being, complaining. I think I said we don't want to complain. I will, you know what? I'm going to complain. But the point is, you complain because you love them, and you know what? You want them to get the result every time. I love doing this. I love getting up. I love being able to text Chris about the game, talk to you guys on Twitter. I'm looking forward to,
and
what we've got
and
ahead.
don't be a fucking drongo and start spreading shit that you don't truly believe. Like, stop, just stop it. Stop
Is that
saying
to me or?
no to the public out there if they're
Yeah, not
listening.
fair.
You're either not a Wrexham fan and you're just enjoying stirring shit up, or you just enjoy stirring shit up and you're a Wrexham fan. But
So it
regardless,
looks like we're all shit stirrers at this point.
they're all shit stirrers at the end of the day. But you know, go out there and say, "Oh, Parky out," all that. No, don't buy into
It's
that.
just not needed.
People
It's
are
just
just
not
trying
needed.
doing it for likes and all that sort of stuff. They're just trying to stir the pot. And to some people, they do buy it. And I see a lot of comments and people being like, "Oh, can't believe all these people are saying this." No, it's not all these people. It's maybe probably like two or three.
Yeah, and it's
Everyone
feeding it
jumps
as
on it.
well.
Oh yeah,
And
please.
it's feeding the fucking algorithm. Like people will say, one person will say Parky out, then 16 people complain about someone saying Parky out. And then all of a sudden the fucking vicious cycle just continues. So yeah, what Chris said is right. Fucking stop. Think about it. Everyone's entitled to an opinion. We don't need to whinge about someone else's opinion. If they have an opinion, let them have it. Fucking just ignore it. If they're going to
Yep.
talk shit and you don't agree, fucking who cares? I can't believe we're teaching etiquette on a fucking podcast.
Yeah,
But
you
at the
know
same
what?
time,
You know
who
what?
cares?
All you got to do, get your hands off your phone, get your fingers off your phone, stick them down your pants, and watch Wrexham. All you got to do, literally, your male, play with your balls if you're female.
Oh, like
anything.
you didn't even need to
Yeah.
expand on it, mate. You
No,
just-
but it's true though. Like, come on, how many males sit there whilst they're watching TV and just shove their hands down their pants and feel the warmth of the nuts, right?
honestly, next week I'm filling this water canister with just straight vodka. Because just the shit that comes out of your mouth, holy shit.
No, but
Well-
it's true though.
It is true. It is true.
Tell me now, which guy does not gather some warmth off the balls? You know, so
You know who gathers warmth
fingers
off the
your
balls?
phone.
Ben Tozer.
Ah, yes. Fucking hell. Anyway,
I think we're delusionally tired at this point, so maybe we should get our musical guest on.
yes. So you may remember two podcasts ago, we actually featured Steve Jones, "Bury Me in Wrexham." Absolute fucking banger of a song.
Banger, absolute banger.
Love it.
Doing the rounds on Twitter now too. People are like discovering it from seeing his performance, and then now this recorded version, which is insane.
So we're going to actually play you the released version of this song.
Yeah.
So by all means, head over to his Facebook. Link as well will also be in the description. Like, subscribe, and share the fuck out of this podcast. Help us continue growing and getting the word out to more Wrexham fans, or people that maybe want to become Wrexham fans. That's the reason why we do this. And yeah, so Adrian, mate, it was a pleasure.
Absolute pleasure, mate, as always.
And
get some sleep. Let's get some sleep.
Let's get some sleep. Yeah, I'm fucking so tired. But let's listen to Steve Jones. So on Facebook, Spotify, search it, Steve Jones, and Bury Me in Wrexham. Fuckheads and beard brethren, we love you. We'll see you next week. Bye. Woo.
So here I stand, a Wrexham lager in my hand, and an ache in my heart for the fatherland. All my life and still I've been here and I always will. But this town of mine has gone through the mill. But if you wanna know a good place to go, it's a wonderful sight just past the lights down on Mold Road. And there you'll find local hearts that bind, true masters of the grind. So I say welcome to Wrexham. I'm sure you've heard all the tales, the highs, the lows, the twos and the fro's of the greatest town in Wales. St. Giles stands tall and looms over it all. From Hightown to Gresford, they all answer the call. And it won't be long before you hear the songs, and the racecourse is bouncing with 10,000 strong. We'll rattle the stands with our grafters' hands, and we'll sing to the end, great sons and daughters of colliery men. So let the drummer boy